There are stories we hear and dismiss as myths, but when you live through one yourself, when you see it with your own eyes and feel in your soul that you're not alone, only then do you realize that there's another world, one we were never meant to enter. This story isn't fiction. It's something I lived through. Every word is true. It happened in a place no one dares to enter. Get ready, because you're about to step into the land of the Jinn clan. My name is Murad, and I'm a journalist at a small newspaper in Cairo. My story began when my grandfather, may he rest in peace, passed away and left me an old house in a village deep in Upper Egypt. The house had been abandoned for decades, and none of my family ever dared to go near it. "Murad, don't you dare go near that house. I swear to God, stay away." Those were my Aunt Fatima's final words before I left for the village. But I thought she was just an old woman spouting superstitions. I figured maybe the house could be a good investment, or at least I could sell it for a decent sum. The trip there was unsettling, to say the least. The car kept breaking down, and the driver refused to take me all the way to the house. "He'll drop you at the village entrance, sir. That house, they say strange things happen there. I swear I've seen strange lights inside at night and heard children crying when no one's there." I arrived around sunset. The village felt frozen in time, eerily still. Crumbling old homes, empty dirt roads, and stray dogs howling with bone-chilling voices. The house was at the edge of the village, surrounded by a tall stone wall. The rusted iron gate groaned with every gust of wind. When I rang the bell, I felt dozens of invisible eyes watching me from the shattered windows. Inside, darkness swallowed everything. I couldn't see my own hand in front of my face. I turned on my flashlight and found myself in a wide hall, thick with dust and cobwebs. The walls were covered in old portraits of my ancestors, but there was something strange. Their eyes seemed to follow me, watching my every move. In the far left corner of the hall, I found a wooden staircase leading to the basement. A chilling wind blew from below, unnatural, as if it came from another world. As I stood there, taking it all in, I heard footsteps above me, coming from the second floor. My heart pounded. Someone was in the house. I rushed upstairs to catch them, but when I got there, it was completely empty. Yet the wooden floor was still trembling under my feet, like someone had just walked there moments ago. I decided to stay the night. I brought in a few things from the car parked outside, laid out a mattress and some food, and settled in the main hall. But as night fell, the strangeness began. At first, it was subtle, the rustling of leaves, the dripping of water. Then it grew, whispers, children giggling, distant laughter that seemed to come from nowhere. Around midnight, I realized I wasn't alone. I was lying down trying to sleep when I heard the sound of a door creaking open, then closing, then soft footsteps descending the stairs as if someone was trying not to be noticed. God help me. I got up quietly and followed the sound. I went down the wooden staircase leading to the basement, and there, in the dim light of my phone, I saw something that froze me in place. The basement was completely different from the rest of the house. The walls were covered in strange symbols and ancient carvings. The floor was made of smooth black stones. In the center lay a large circle, drawn in some kind of red substance, surrounded by extinguished candles. But what truly terrified me were the sounds. Whispers in an unrecognizable language, children crying, haunting music playing faintly in the background. And every now and then I felt someone standing behind me, staring, but when I turned around, no one was there. In the corner, I found an old book written in classical Arabic. It was my great-grandfather's journal, and what it revealed made everything suddenly make sense. He wrote, "This clan has lived here for centuries. They're not ordinary Jinn. They are kings and princes of their world. And we, the descendants of this family, we've always served them. Each of us must offer sacrifices, obey their laws, and never betray them. Those who disobey suffer terrible fates." As I finished reading, the cold deepened and the sounds grew louder. One by one, the extinguished candles flared to life, and a dim, eerie blue light filled the room. Thick black smoke rose from the circle in the center, twisting into different shapes. First, a tall man with glowing red eyes and long black hair. Then a pale old woman with hollow eyes, and a young child with a terrifying smile. The tall man spoke in a thunderous voice. "At last the heir has returned, Murad. We are the clan of King Sultan, and you are now our servant." Trembling, I said, "I don't understand. I just came to see the house." He laughed, a deep, chilling laugh. "There are no coincidences, Kareem. Your grandfather, your father, and his father before him, they all served us. Now it's your turn. And to prove how serious we are, we'll show you what happens to those who try to escape." Suddenly, they vanished. The room fell dark again. But I felt different. I started seeing things that weren't mine. I saw my grandfather as a young man offering sacrifices and reciting incantations. I saw my father doing the same. I saw generations of my family, all bound to serve this ancient clan. And I saw what happened to those who resisted. An uncle driven mad, dead under mysterious circumstances. An aunt who vanished without a trace. This clan punishes disobedience with horror. I stumbled out of the basement, barely feeling my body. Upstairs, the portraits on the walls now seemed alive. Their eyes moved, following me. The whispers, the laughter, the music, they were everywhere. At dawn, I found an old piece of parchment on the doorstep. I hadn't heard anyone approach. It listed rules in ancient Arabic. 1. Every Friday night, you must go to the basement and light the candles and recite the incantations. 2. Every month, you must offer a sacrifice, not an animal, but something greater, a child from the village. 3. The clan's secrets must remain hidden. Tell no one. 4. If you try to run, they'll take your soul and the souls of those you love. I read those words shaking. How could I do this? How could I harm a child? I decided to run.
But the door wouldn't open. The windows wouldn't budge. Even after breaking the glass, I found solid stone behind it. I was trapped, and no one could save me. Suddenly, I heard a child crying upstairs. I rushed to the second floor, and in the large room, I found a small boy, maybe 7 years old, curled up in a corner, sobbing. His face looked normal, but his eyes were empty. I asked him, "Who are you? How did you get in here?" He looked up and said in an unnatural voice, "I was like you, a family heir, but I refused to serve them. This is what became of me." "You mean?" "Yes, I've been dead for 50 years. My soul is trapped here. This is the punishment for disobedience." His name was Ahmed, my grandfather's cousin, and he told me something crucial. There's only one way to break the bond. You must destroy their original ring. It's hidden in the deepest part of the basement, behind the eastern wall, in a secret chamber. "But how do I get in, and how do I destroy it?" "Wait until the moment of their weakness, between dawn and sunrise. That's when their power is at its lowest. And use the sacred iron. It's hidden in your grandfather's chest, in this very room." He showed me an old wooden box in the wardrobe. Inside was a small iron bar engraved with verses from the Quran. I knew then it was my grandfather's hidden weapon, one he never dared use. I waited for dawn. Heart pounding, I descended to the basement. The atmosphere was weaker, the evil force fading. I searched the eastern wall, found a slightly different stone. I knocked. It was hollow. I pushed, and a small secret door creaked open. Inside was a small dark chamber. At its center stood a stone pedestal, and on it a golden ring covered in strange symbols.
As I approached it, the entire clan materialized around me. King Sultan, his family,